This was supposed to be the day that we started a vacation and took chickens to the processor. Kind of a crazy day anyways. But things happened yesterday that changed all of that. A windstorm hit central Iowa. We didn't have it so bad down at our farm. And my uncle's farm with the Minneapolis Moline collection, I'll put a link above me to that video. His farm got hit pretty bad. It took a silo down, a ton of trees, and there's quite a bit of damage. So we've got the stock trailer hooked up. We're still taking chickens to the processor tonight. I've got the chainsaw in the back of the truck, and we're headed north from our farm to my uncle's farm, the family farm, to do as much cleanup as we can. This is kind of mind-boggling for me. We were here just less than a week ago, and right now I am standing and touching the roof of a silo that went down, or half the silo went down. If you look over my shoulder right over here, you can see the concrete stave silo that had been part of this farm my entire life, all the way back into the 70s, just collapsed in these straight line winds. I've heard reports of over 106-mile-an-hour winds. They've already started collecting trees that have gone down. I'll take you closer to the silo here in a little bit, but it is just absolutely incredible. Here's more of the top of that silo that had come down. There's just trees everywhere. But the amazing thing is that apart from that silo coming down and coming down on top of a building that had tractors and tractor parts in it, that building back there is the place that had the street sweeper that my son was interested in. The hoop house and the other buildings were all safe. So, and everybody here was safe. A lot of damage to the row crops in the area, the corn and the beans. A lot of those are knocked down, and of course trees all over the place. They still don't have power yet. So it just is a pretty wild thing to see this, knowing that we were just here less than a week ago looking at tractors and having a good time, and now we're here to cut up trees and bring back as much normalcy to the place as possible. This tree right here is the big tree that I talked about in our Minneapolis Moline restoration shopping video about, that had the junk in it, and a lot of big branches have gone down from it, and this tree was the replacement tree right here. It was bent over. We've kind of set it back up as best we can, and we're hopeful that it stays and can come back. About 5 years ago, we did about 20 acres of hay here at my uncle's farm, and we also did oats first, and this bin was full of oats. I've got a video, I'll put it up here, of us loading out the oats and combining the oats and all of those things, but this bin is done being a bin. Not that it was used for much anymore, but the tree that we just cut down landed on it. When we pulled that tree off, the bin kind of flip-flopped with it. So there's a lot of damage here. Nothing that can't be fixed other than trees, which we love trees here at the homestead, so it's always sad to see those trees gone. Back here's that 2132 Twin Cities, and I stood here and I talked about these silos up above me right now. You can see the two harvest doors still go all the way to the top, but that concrete stave silo in the middle, it just toppled over. You can see pieces of the silo that had come down, and right in here you can see the Minneapolis Moline street sweeper that we talked about, that my son was interested in restoring. There's just rubble and debris all over the place here. This was the old feed shed, and it's just covered. Here's a piece of the roof of the silo right here, and there's just rock or concrete everywhere underneath it. It's amazing. If you look up at the silo here, it has steel bands all the way around it, and those bands just are kind of shredded and hanging there. I'll kind of walk around to the other side. It looks like this door on the old cattle shed got blown in a little bit onto a picker there, but it looks like it's okay. There's still some more rubble, part of the silo right here, and it's just hanging. There's pieces hanging from the silo. It's probably going to be a little dark in here, but I'm going to try to go in. Here's the door that came down on the west end of this building that went east to west. Like, everything on this side is all right. Looks like there's an old binder reel right up there. That looks fine. A couple manure spreaders right here, no damage there. Some of the silos came down. Some of the silo came down on this tractor here and on this stationary engine behind it over there. Looks like some pieces came down on top of this engine right here. Some sort of implement down there. I'm not sure what implement that is. And behind me here is the street sweeper. It looks like the top of the roof got crushed a little bit. Some of the fender. For having a silo come down on top of it, it looks like it survived about as well as you could hope. Well, today ended up being quite the day. There is still a ton of work to do as far as trees go, and that shed out there with the tractors in it that I showed you, that's just a project for another day completely down the road. But there's still a lot to do. Luckily, my cousin showed up with his grapple bucket for the 40/20, and so it's made the work a lot easier. What we've just been doing is cutting and putting things in piles, and my cousin's been coming around, and we have piles like this that he's able to pick up with the grapple bucket. Now, there's still a lot to do that's going to take a little bit more technical work than we can do with the 40/20 and the chainsaw. If you look up here, there is a tree branch caught in the crook, or the crook is caught on a branch, but there's also a power wire right there. So a lot to do there. As I walk over here by that bin, we've got a ton of that all done. It's just all in these piles. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, whatever you want to do. I want to give a big thumbs up to everybody that came out and helped my uncle today, my aunt today. This is the pile behind me that has been building all day long, and it is only because of the work of so many people that just pitched in when there was a need. Since I'm here, I just couldn't resist to come out and look at the tractors a little bit more. This ZB wide front, this is an awesome tractor. I would love to have that tractor on my farm. I have no idea what I would do with it. It would just be really fun to have that ZB with a wide front just to drive around, pull things. It would be awesome. This other tractor that I have my eye on right now is this M670 with a loader. This tractor was actually at my dad's farm when I was a kid. My dad used it when he didn't have a loader tractor. He borrowed this tractor from my uncle. That would be a fun tractor to have on the farm too. So I'm just kind of eyeing that one. Looks like there's a Z back here with a planter on it. Oh, that is so cool. And I didn't spend enough time on this A4T last week. This A4T 1400. Let me just climb up here. I took a break from So this A4T 1400 was an articulated Minneapolis Moline tractor, and this one right here, if you can look down here, this one's propane. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if that was unique or not, but it's an awesome piece of equipment. Actually, there was a guy from Iowa that helped design this tractor, and so my uncle got to know him and got a few things. Actually, I think that ZB back there came from his auction. So I just couldn't resist the opportunity to come in here and share a few more tractors with you while I was here.